Financial week's getting underway today for stock markets around the world. Russia, of course, is greatly affected by the oil prices, and we've seen the markets open flat here in the past couple of hours. In recent months, the country's currencies hit near record lows against major currencies as the price of Brent crude plummeted. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, one of Russia's most senior bankers told us that the current ruble rate is justified.
Given the commodity cycle and where the prices are, primarily for the price of oil, I think ruble is fairly priced. We can probably see a lot of volatility both in the commodity market, including the oil market, and in the ruble. However, I do believe that dollar-ruble will find its support around these kind of levels.
What's more, though, some companies think that the slump in oil prices means that it might actually be the right time to enter the Russian market.
The pain that is being felt in all the oil-based economies is not sustainable. We are actively seeking an entry into Russia, and I think there's no better time right now to come in, because it does two things. You might get a better price. I wouldn't say cheap. Cheap is always an opinion. But you might get a better price for an asset. But also, it shows your belief in the market when you go in when everybody else is leaving. I think that's the right time to go in for a long-term investor.
Inequality also came up at the World Economic Forum as the gap between rich and poor grows ever wider, certainly according to Oxfam. Governments abusing technology to spy on activists is being documented in a new online series called Truth and Power.
They're monitoring my email. They're monitoring my phone calls.
Our mainstream news sources were not telling us what's going on with us.
The rage that was inside of me that day, I couldn't go home and sit with that.
Producer Brian Knappenberger launched his series with a film on the Black Lives Matter movement. He's been telling us about the role digital technology played in the formation of the group.
10 episodes has a different topic. This week we're looking at Black Lives Matter as a social movement, both how it has used digital tools in order to organize and how some of those digital tools have been used against the group in terms of surveillance and other things.
We know that we're right to do this work. That is how oppressed people start to link up. That is true power. Come on, y'all, it's time to rise up. Get your hands up.
The filmmaker's convinced that social injustice in the United States can be fought if people realize they can take an active part in the democratic process.
I do believe that one of the big battles that we face is a battle against apathy. A lot of people say, well, they sort of shrug their shoulders and aren't sure if they want to stand up. But we're also experiencing in America right now this kind of wave of anger and frustration. And, you know, there's good reason for that anger and frustration. I mean, we have a broken criminal justice system that unfairly targets poor and minority citizens. We have a bizarre sort of use of technology. People are beginning to understand technology and the forces that are shaping our digital world aren't necessarily acting in our best interests. I feel this kind of undercurrent of people who want to get involved. I think my main points is that you can get involved and that you can be a part of it and that you can participate in a democracy.
A couple of other world stories. Fresh clashes have erupted between Turkish police and pro-Kurdish activists in Istanbul. Protesters continue to oppose Turkey's military operation and the curfews imposed on Kurdish-populated areas in the southeast. Police used tear gas and water cannon on people who set off fireworks at authorities. Turkey claims it's killed at least 173 members of the outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party, known as the PKK, since July. The election unrest in Haiti has seen clashes in the capital for the fourth consecutive day over the postponed presidential runoff. Protesters are demanding that the president steps down after Friday's second-round poll was called off again. They also accuse their leader of manipulating the first-round results back in October. Proposed education cuts saw thousands demonstrate in Morocco's capital. The rally of mostly trainee teachers defied an official ban on protesting as they marched on Parliament. In July, the government approved legislation to halve their monthly allowances and axe jobs. I'll update you again in just over half an hour. Until then, though, we've got a fashion lesson from Central Africa. Meet the Congo dandies next on RT International.